No, this New England red does not represent New England Patriot. Wow, I just said New England red does not represent. This is not New England red, is what I'm saying. I misspeak 80% of my life. That being said, I'm about to do a bunch of prop bets because the national holiday of the century is here. That means Super Bowl Sunday. We all know I don't have a life outside of football. Okay, Vern, how do I do this request thing? There it is. Hopefully he has connection, because I rarely do have connection. This guy.
What's up? Can you hear me well, or?
Yeah, I was like doubting that forever. Because
Okay.
I watched, no, and I watch celebrities go live, and then they really like, as you can't see my face, I gotta push. I'm like, have my phone relying on my pillow right now. Have you ever seen the stuff in my room? It's like all like cards.
Yeah, I know what you mean. New York all day, boy.
Anything but, oh yeah, you forgot you were a Giants fan. You gotta.
Yeah, but
No, Pat Shermer's about to be the GOAT. Not
who?
really. Pat Shermer, the new head coach.
Oh yeah. Listen, man, we gonna do some big stuff this 2018 season. So hopefully the 6 months will be better than last season. So
It's just no. It's the way he calls rub routes is insane. Like, if you watch Thielen and Diggs, I was like, I believe in them. I don't want to believe in them, but the Giants are.
well, we need running backs though.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually, we should have requested Brittany live too. Let's see how a three-way would work.
does it work?
I don't know, but she probably busy anyway.
Yeah, does it work? Yeah. She started school, right?
Started what?
She started school again, right? Everyone did.
Nah, she took a semester off.
Oh, we're in the same boat. Oh, I should have been hit her up.
Yeah, I don't know if she's watching the game live now, but I guess we got to get our podcast started or a live video started, whatever we're doing. So
Yeah, I think we could go from like if we could save it on Periscope. I don't know how like Periscope works. If you could save it, there used to be something that you could download. You could download Periscope on some website, but the website has since been canceled because
yeah, man. But
people like scam and stuff like that. All right, so I'm looking at, you got to follow this guy named Andy Benoit, which is like not the greatest name, Benoit. I don't want to insult him, but I don't like that name. But
wow,
no,
wow, okay.
he's genius because all respect to him, because he's like, he knows everything. I don't know if he ever played, but on his Twitter they did a prop bet thing, so that's what I'm basing this live off of.
Okay.
I'm gonna read a few of the other prop bets, which was what I should have done just for the fun of it, but I hate gambling because I usually lose. Although my dad won one time because of Von Miller in the Super Bowl. So it was like an example is, how long will it take Pink to sing the national anthem? Over 2 minutes and under 2 minutes. It's like stuff that has nothing to do with the outcome.
Yeah. I'd say probably over 2 minutes, over 122 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, she'll hold she holds the notes long because she's just like sensational. If you see her on the Grammys, yeah, she's over two. I won't even disagree.
I say over 2 minutes. So
yeah. Better touchdown celebration, like from either team. Be mindful, Patriots have Gronk.
I mean, let's see, Gronk, probably maybe like Alshon Jeffrey. He had a decent one.
I'm going with New England for better. I'll go with New England for better because Belichick will scold you if you get a penalty, but they're not going to call it. I remember one year, Aaron Hernandez, the celebration against the Giants, where he faked like he was opening up a vault. You ever seen it?
Yeah, I've seen the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that celebration was icy, to say the least. I love that term. References to Brady's hand, over or under 6? Like his stitches.
I say over 6. He almost needed surgery for that too. He was this close from needing surgery too. That's what the doctors had explained. Because otherwise, this would have been breaking news. And you talk about the Patriots would have to go with Brian Hoyer in the AFC Championship game, but Thankfully, it's only he needed about 12 stitches, and he still came back and won the game to advance to Super Bowl 52. So
All right. I'm going. I'll go under 6. I just think 6 is too high. Okay, challenge flags. You could only have 4, so let's say any challenge flags. I guess
hmm
that'll be over 0, right?
yeah, I believe so. Um, a challenge. Yeah, they probably be a couple of challenges in this game.
Because I mean, it's a long game, and I mean, obviously, I mean, 3 hours is also long, but Super Bowl they extend everything. Here's what frustrated me. I'm going off on it. I don't want to go off a tangent. Last week, Amendola had a catch not the year, the play before or 2 plays before he caught like that final one where he was at the back of the end zone. He's
Yeah,
going to the ground. We always have this catch like debate, which is like it'll take 3 years to explain. Good Delta
yeah,
Bear,
yeah,
and they don't review it, and they're in New England. So like me being a Jet fan, I'm like, okay, they're obviously now I can't tell you definitively whether or not he caught the ball, but they didn't review it. He goes to the ground and the ball shifts, and if it's like on your arm, then it doesn't really matter if it shifts. But
right.
they did not review it. Now Jacksonville didn't challenge because they had to get the ball back, but the fact that they didn't review that frustrated me. I'm gonna say there's no challenges because I think Super Bowl officiating is horrible. All
Well,
right,
yeah, I mean, the one thing I will say that I'm skeptic about is Gene Steratore, the cardboard or index card, man, where in the biggest game against the Raiders, against the Cowboys, with the Cowboys, and this was an important game to save their season at the time, I believe like week 15, and then the Raiders trying to save their season. The guy gets an index card, folds it, and
he's
then
laughing.
puts it in between the chain and the ball, and then looks at the Raiders bench, smiling, and then says first down. So that's something that you keep calm. I mean, he's been okay. I mean, he was the official during the Minnesota Miracle, so that's probably why they bring him back so far. But as far as this big game, I mean, this is the biggest game. I mean, a rematch of Super Bowl 39, obviously, and you got Brian Dawkins in the Hall of Fame, so this is going to be a big game in my opinion. But Gene Steratore, I don't trust Gene Steratore to officiate this game. Not in my life, man.
He's one of the better looking referees. Like he looked like he's only
No, I
46.
say
Probably
my favorite
46.
referee, Ed Hockley.
Oh, I know him, but I can't picture his face.
Yes,
Who's
there
the?
are penalties in the Pro Bowl.
Oh no, he's the greatest for that.
Yeah,
Huh.
he is my favorite referee. He's probably the all-time greatest referee in NFL history. But Gene Steratore is just kind of skeptic in a way, and I don't really trust that. So
I don't know who's due. I think they announced it. Oh no, Ed Hockley's 67. Oh my God. First off, can we make the timeout for a second? Can we make the officials like 35? Like, can we? Because so that they can keep up and properly call these. But that's another story. How many times did they call TB12 the greatest? Over 2 or under 2? So
over two, because you got a lot of Patriots fans. You got your man Skip Bayless always saying, "Well, he's the greatest of this generation. He's trying to win 2 more Super Bowls, from my knowledge, before he retires. So he wants to retire with 7 rings, be the all-time great quarterback. He's tied with Charles Haley for the most. Charles Haley won 2 with the 49ers, 3 during the Cowboys dynasty, and then you're talking about TB12, the greatest quarterback over Joe Montana and all this other stuff. In my opinion, he won his 3rd MVP just last night in the NFL honors.
only 3.
So yeah, he won his 3rd MVP award. So now it's the question on how long will he play? I mean, his contract ends after, believe it or not, the 2019 season. So he would have played 20 years. And the fact that, for TB12, the question is after when the contract ends, what is going to happen? Because they had Jimmy Garoppolo, and I believe if Jimmy Garoppolo was still on this roster, Brady would not be back with the Patriots because you got a franchise Jimmy G, about $25 million. Then you got Tom Brady on 13, 14 mil, so there's no way. So I believe that win or lose, Brady, this would have been his last year, but because Jimmy G is now in San Francisco, being the 49ers quarterback and probably going to do some damage there, now Brady gets to stay for another 2 years. But the biggest thing is the Patriots are about to lose a lot of even more people during this offseason because I believe Amendola is a free agent. I don't think the Patriots are going to have him back. Dion Lewis, who was their great returner and backup running back or starting running back, he's going to be a free agent. So Alan Branch, I don't know if he'll be back. He's getting to be a veteran. Jules, I don't know how Jules is going to be damaged because he had a torn ACL and he's had a broken foot even after the Super Bowl win 49 against the Seahawks in 2015. So I don't know how Jules is going to manage. I'm not trying to doubt the guy, but as far as Tom Brady, I probably said over 2. There's a lot of people, analysts, even Brandon Graham, who's in the Super Bowl game, said he's the GOAT in his press conference. So I mean, I say over 2 in my opinion.
All right, over 2. Yeah, it's probably over 2 because Collinsworth has a way of complimenting Aaron Rodgers. So you imagine what he'll say about Tom Brady, whose offense is just so much more superiorly, if that's a word. It's more superior in the fact that it's the under game and the crossing routes, the way they attack zone coverage. I mean, and for second when Jacksonville, I probably criticize them too much because they like to play zone,
Right.
and then I realized because Greg Cosell he does a podcast. He's like an NFL analyst, like an NFL analyst. He's one of the greatest. He talked about how when they use their base, I think that's 22 or 2 tight ends. Is 2 tight ends? It's 2 running backs, whatever. I'm sounding ignorant here. And they put Devlin, the fullback, out, and then
Right.
they put Cooks in the slot. And if you're playing zone, you can't. If you're in a single high safety, you can't do that. Like you can't put the linebacker on Cooks. No matter, I don't care if he has Von Miller speed. You can't do that. He's going to beat you deep. So I criticize them for the Jacksonville too much for playing zone, which I didn't like, even though it's a lot easier for me as a fan to say it. But taking that back to Tom Brady, he's in such a superior offense that it allows him to be the greatest.
Right.
So as much as Collinsworth I believe Collinsworth and Al Michaels are doing this. So
Yeah,
Collinsworth will
they are.
say
At NBC. They're doing it.
it like minimum twice. All right,
Yeah.
holding this. I think this one's easy for both of us. Holding calls on New England over over 0, any at all for holding calls on New England. They had 1 penalty on them last game, which I don't think it shocked anybody, including Patriots fans.
Honestly, I think you may get probably 1 or 2 because you got Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, and Chris Long, a former Patriot who knows that organization. Basically, they're going to be the dominant pass rushers that get to try to hit Tom Brady, get to Tom Brady. So the thing about it is you have to really get after Tom Brady. So I believe there'll be at least maybe 1 or 2, maybe not as much. There'll probably be some PIs, some maybe special teams, but the Eagles have to play discipline, and the Pats will have to play a disciplined game so far. But I say maybe 1 or 2, 3 probably be the max. But the thing about with Jacksonville, I mean, yeah, you had Malik Jackson and you had Calais Campbell, but those are the only 2 guys because everybody was either dropping in coverage, linebackers were covering, trying to cover Gronk, or even staying in zone. And then you have the DBs either staying back playing zone or sometimes man to man so far, and either getting burnt by Cooks or not really doing a good job. But I will say that this is different because you have Long, you have, Barrington or whatever, the rookie, you have Graham, you have Fletcher Cox, you have Michael Kendricks, who is the brother to Eric Kendricks in Minnesota. So you have all these weapons so far, and you have Malcolm Jenkins, who's a blitzing safety so far. He's like a hybrid. He can be a cornerback, and he'll probably be matched up with Gronk, 1-to-1, man-to-man, but probably about 3,
It's
in my
funny that
opinion.
you said that because the guy Orlovsky, he just said that. Well, not Graham. Jenkins is he's better at tackling than he is covering. So New England actually determines. I mean, offenses in general, they determine how you defend like a tight end
Right.
because they keep showing the commercial, the game footage of Gronk and the I formation, and you don't know how to defend him because he's a fullback at that point. Then he motions to the tight end. So New England, they're so diverse that they determine how you defend Gronk because you can't shadow him with Jenkins all game for 2 reasons. He's more of a tackler than he is coverage wise. And if you put him, wide out, then Jenkins is not going to shadow him. It'll probably be Jalen Mills, which they say the corners are the corners are the coverage is their only kind of sort of weakness. Or holding calls. I don't think there'll be any just because I just think this is my conspiracy. They have no holding calls on New England. Obvious missed PI calls on New England. That's a good one because they got away with at least two last week but they were in New England, so
Yeah.
that's a little bit different. Because I believe it was a third down where was it D.D. Westbrook? I hadn't even heard of him. That's how bad I was researching. I had heard of him, but I haven't heard of him. I hadn't heard of him until like late in the weeks. So obvious miss PI calls on New England. 'Cause I think Gilmore probably get beat once or twice.
Oh no, no question. I think Alshon Jeffries can be a threat. I mean, they got great weapons as far as Nelson Aguilar, Alshon Jeffries. You have Zach Ertz. You got Torrey Smith. So you have a lot of people that basically just I think they will miss because you got Butler who's going to be a free agent also, and then you have Gilmore who's under this big contract getting 13 mil a season. But as far
Yeah.
as Gilmore covering, I mean he made a big crucial play against the was it the Jaguars in the last few seconds, and then Deion Lewis sealed the game. But I mean they'll probably miss about maybe 2 or 3 in my opinion.
Yeah, I've always because the old saying goes. I think I wrote it on WordPress. Everyone who's watching who was gonna watch. It's I write on WordPress occasionally or once a week. That's not really occasionally, but I wrote that you could call. I mean, we always say the old term is you can call holding on almost everything. You could also call defensive holding or pass interference a lot, but there's only so many officials on the field. So
Right.
I think they'll miss 3. All right, obvious missed calls, total penalties. Now, mind you, the later it gets into the season, my biggest criticism of the NFL is Super Bowls are not heavily penalized games, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't get it because if you see it NBA is a little bit different. The last 5 minutes of an NBA game are just fouls, foul calls, foul calls, foul calls, foul calls. But you'll see in the basketball, the referees actually the bigger the game is, they try to get more involved by calling fouls, I guess. So
Right.
that's a different sport. But total penalties, let's put it over or under 9. I'll
Mm,
say under 9. That's how bad I think it is. Because I think they should call more.
right. Okay. I say about maybe 7 or 8, maybe.
Yeah, I can't. There's no way I could think. And when we say penalties, I guess we mean false starts don't really count because they're obvious,
Right.
or like neutral zone infraction. I can't even say it. Infractions. I just said infractions. Neutral
Yeah.
zone infraction. Those are obvious. How bad is Michael Bennett at that? By the way, he's no discipline. He goes offside every 2 minutes.
Listen, Michael Bennett, I mean, he's a great, tackler, but yeah, he does have an offside problem. So,
In the Super Bowl,
he,
after
yeah,
after
and
there was
that's why the
a
fight started because, he was responsible for it and he was frustrated and then, gave Tom Brady an opportunity. And then thanks to Bruce Irvin with the fight and getting ejected, he gave the Patriots even another 15 yards, and that sealed the deal even there. So, yeah, Bennett jumps offside way too much.
yeah, even in the Pro Bowl, I think he had 3. All right, we'll go over. No, we'll just say over 0. Over 0 just means mention at all. Mention of Brady's draft status, which was 199th, the single greatest draft ever. That's better than if you took Montana at number 1 or you took Montana at the 7th round. It's just better because no one expected Brady. So mention of when Brady was drafted because I loved Chris Collinsworth fawns all over Brady as he does for most quarterbacks.
Mm. Yeah, he is. And that's why, you talk about the underdog status and the fact that the Eagles are really big underdogs in this game, and they do have a shot. Defensively, they need to slow down Tom Brady, and Nick Foles needs to have a big game in order to take the Eagles over the hump. But as far as Tom Brady, his draft status, he's really been an underdog because he was a backup to Drew Bledsoe, and 2001, Bledsoe got hurt, and then I think it might have been either against the Bills or the Jets. He took a hit, and then
It
Oh,
was
and
the
2, and Brady.
only the Jets could do that. It was the Jets.
Yeah,
Only
so and
got
then
around.
Brady said, "Ride my back," and then he played 14 games, carried the team to a winning record. They went on to win the Super Bowl against the greatest show on turf and stopped the dynasty right there because talk about Kurt Warner was the reigning MVP in 2001 after, it was Kurt Warner 99, Marshall Faulk 2000 and 2001. It was Kurt Warner again. So you have back to back to back, to back Rams being, MVP players, and Tom Brady shut that down, and the Rams were what 3-point favorites in that game, and next thing
Yeah,
you know,
they were 10-point favorites in
oh,
that
10
game.
point favorites. Yeah, so they were 10-point favorites in that game, and then all of a sudden, Tom Brady, well, thanks to Adam Vinatieri, went on to win 20-17, and they won their first Super Bowl in franchise history. So, I mean, as much as a lot of people don't like Tom Brady, I'm not a huge Tom Brady fan myself. I have a lot of respect for Bill Belichick, especially his years with the New York Giants organization as our defensive coordinator and basically the stuff he did with Bill Parcells. But as far
30,
as Tom Brady, I mean, they're gonna bring that up that this guy's a 6th rounder, but a lot of people are gonna be, fan favorite nationwide are gonna be rooting for the Eagles, but analyst wise, they're gonna be rooting for the Pats because the fact that they don't want to bet against Tom Brady, especially when a lot of people chose the Falcons and they ended up choking in the biggest moment in Super Bowl 51 last year in overtime. So
yeah, that was as you. I'll just latch on to that last point. You ever notice when people ask questions, if you ask two questions, people always answer the second one
yeah,
first. But that's like journalism 101. You always ask one for most of the part. Uh, they they were guests. It was what Mike Francesa said. The legendary sports radio host for New York on CBS. Uh, like the defensive line. It's just one of those things where you play the Patriots and it's not even their tempo hinges on success is what I wrote on WordPress today.
hmm
Is basically you could run the hurry up offense, but if you get negative yards, it doesn't mean anything. Common sense will tell you that. But
right.
once they got going, remind you, Edelman played in that game, and I think if Edelman played today, this would be a 14-point game within
Oh, no, no question. I mean,
7
I
minutes.
think that if Edelman were in this game, I probably would have to go, with the Pats as much as, my auntie on my father's side, she's an Eagles fan, so I got a lot of people that, Eagles fans and all that stuff. But I think that if Edelman were playing in this game, it'd be a different story. But like I said, I think 2018 will be an interesting year because, you got Kirk Cousins being a free agent now, and who knows where he'll go. I think he'll be a more threat if he goes to Jacksonville, but a lot of people saying, well, he
Oh
may go
my
to
God,
Denver Broncos.
I did not think of that. No, Jacksonville. Yeah, because Jacksonville, there's not that much wind in Jacksonville as opposed to like well, no, Denver has thin air, so I guess you don't have to really cut through the wind there. They always talk about a quarterback who can cut through the wind when they throw the ball. So, but Kirk Cousins is like, I think he's got a medium like range arm. Like, I don't think he would throw like 70. He probably throws like 60. All right, so missed field goal today. I forgot who the Eagles kicker is. Forgive me. I
Jake
know it's
Elliott.
not Jake Elliott. I keep thinking
Yeah.
it's the former guy.
Oh, Sturgis. Yeah, no, he got hurt, and they stuck
Yeah.
with Elliott after he made a 61-yarder against, unfortunately, my New York Giants in that game, Week 3. So.
That helped your draft status, though. I think it did. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
it
I
did.
mean, listen, it did help our draft status. So now we're either going to get Shaquan Barkley or Josh Rosen, or well, we're really going to need to get this offensive lineman. But that's on the Giants, and that's Dave Gentleman. He's the GM, so that's out of my control. I'm just a fan that roots for number 10, number 13, and whoever's in red, white, and blue for the New York Giants. But yeah, Jake Elliott is the kicker for the Philadelphia Eagles in this game today. So
61 yarder.
yeah.
That's insane. A missed field goal. Ah, I believe Gostkowski missed one in the
Yeah,
playoffs or
I think he missed like an extra point after they scored a touchdown, and then
in the Super Bowl.
yeah, because they scored a touchdown. It was like what 28-9 or whatever. Then he missed it because it hit off the right iron, and then basically that portrayed bad. And then obviously Dante Hightower or Boom Tower ended up basically pulling through in the clutch, and then he ended up stopping Matt Ryan from passing it down to Julio Jones and putting the dagger into the Pats' Super Bowl chances. Because if he had more time and Devontae Freeman would have got Boom Tower, I think the Falcons would have won that Super Bowl, but bad fortunes for them.
I
But
don't I don't know
you
what
know,
he was thinking on that play.
yeah. But
It's so much
Steven
easier.
Gostkowski. I mean, he missed one. I think I'm confident in Jake Elliott to make a long one because the fact that the man did it at Lincoln Financial Field, and that's outdoors, but
Of course.
he's indoors at U.S. Bank Stadium. So for him to miss it is either bad snap, bad hold, or he just missed it wide left or wide right or whatever. He just came up a tad short. But I think Jake Elliott, if in the clutch he has to make a field goal and a 50-yarder, I can trust Jake Elliott to make one.
I'll say I'm leaning towards Goskowski missing one for whatever reason, but they're in a dome. I forgot where it was played last. Oh, it was in Houston, so I guess
Yeah,
that's a
it was
dome.
in NRG Stadium. That's a retractable roof, but they had the roof. I think they have it open or they had it closed. I can't
No,
remember,
I
but yeah, they were in
Texas
a
got cold last
they were in the
year, though,
stadium.
right?
So.
Texas
Yeah,
got cold last year. I believe it did. Like Georgia still gets cold sometimes. Like the South actually gets cold, but like
yeah. I mean, so they
people
have
don't think.
retractable roofs mainly for like warm weather, nice weather. But when it's like musky weather, they close the roof up. That way, they don't have to worry about anything. So that's, I guess, the beauty of playing indoors. But if you play outdoors, you have a better chance of doing even well in indoors. So, but anywho, but I
All right, so
say
man,
maybe one, but I'm thinking maybe just zero, just because the fact they're in a dome and they're probably gonna get them in good range. So
yeah, I think double. I think Peterson will. He won't put him in a situation where he would have to make a 51. It's all about it's all about situationally how do they play it. So if there are 45 seconds left and it's 4th and 10 and you're on the 50, no, if you're going to kick a 55. If they have to kick a 55, that's probably the cutoff
right,
where
yeah,
he might just punt it, although he knows that Elliott can make a 61 yarder because in a closer game you don't want to give Brady that type of field position.
well,
It's
unless he has,
something.
unless like the final moment, and it's either you win the game or you tie the game or whatever. Yeah, he would, but as far as you got 4 minutes left and you're ahead, now he would punt the football and trust in his defense to make the
Right.
stop. So
You can't. There's certain game situations where you look at it and you can't simulate it. As a fan, you hope that they make the field goal. How many deep shots for New? I mean, we'll classify deep shots as 40 yards.
yeah, 40-yard bombs. I probably say they go for maybe two or three in the entire game.
What I like about the NFL analysts is that they mentioned the double moves that they fell for. It was, I believe, Darby and Mills. So
Yeah, I mean
The Raiders
that's
caught him with a
probably
slant.
something they
So
probably worked on in practice, hopefully. So they'll probably bite a little bit, but hopefully they worked on it because that was their weakness against the Giants, and the Raiders did it. But in the end, it was a defensive play that stopped it. So
slant goes are greatest. They're
I
great. If
think
you
I
have,
think Philly might have a better secondary, though, in my opinion. That's just personally me.
well, it all depends on. I think the Patriots guys, they don't get enough credit
Yeah, I mean they don't get enough
because
credit, but
because McCourty will never make a Pro Bowl because he doesn't make the loud plays. Loud plays. And he's has interceptions. I believe only 20 total for his career. I don't know what that actually what a high interception rate would be because it all depends on who throws the ball near you.
yeah,
Patrick Chung. Every time I look up, they're mentioning his name for some reason, and he used to play for the Eagles back in the day.
yeah, in the
They
early
always
days, yeah.
Chung, so I like him. I was told Butler struggles against bigger receivers because he's like
Well, you got Alshon Jeffrey, who's like 6'2",
yeah,
6'3", so he's a legitimate big dude. So
yeah, so like Butler in theory probably would have struggled against um kind of a Dez Bryant type, but someone who's a little bit faster than Dez Bryant. Okay,
right,
so this is a fun one. No, I'll leave the fun one for the last one. I mean, when I say fun, like non-football,
yeah.
RPO count, run pass options for for Philadelphia. They might run that 25 times.
Oh
Not
no,
not
no
20 times.
question. I think they're key to trying to win this game. You make a few passes to Alshon, you make a few passes to Nelson Aguilar and Zach Ertz and all these people when you need to, but You have a guy in the Patriots in LeGarrette Blount who ran the ball and can carry defenders with him, can churn those legs. Then you got a speed guy in Jay Ajayi. So running game, as far as I'm concerned, Philadelphia won that, all day. I mean, yeah, give credit to James White and Deion Lewis. They don't get enough credit so far. Deion Lewis had a decent season so far. Maybe not an all-pro season, but Jay Ajayi and for LeGarrette Blount, I feel like they can do some damage, in the running game. They have to hand it off to these guys because they can chew up the clock when need to. Blount can get you the first down with his power skills, so that's basically how it's going to do, in my opinion.
They said something that's, when I say they, I forgot. I believe it's Greg Cosell. I'll keep mentioning him because he's more of an expert. I'm not really there yet on this front. He was saying the fronts that they play for New England would actually give, is it not Kelsey problems? It would actually give the Eagles problems because the Eagles like to do what they call, they use the tight ends and they block the nose tackles and they call them wham blocks. So it allows you to get to the second level to the linebackers.
Well, we got 12 minutes till Super Bowl time, so.
Oh dang! Yeah, I'm gonna try to hurry this up. But it scares me because they said that the Patriots front is well equipped to counter that. So that kind of scares me from being a Jets fan looking at that. RPO, I think he'll pass on the RPOs 21 times and he'll hand it off most of the time. Okay, so points in the first quarter. I believe the Patriots haven't scored a point in the first quarter of any of the Super Bowls.
No.
I'm probably mistaken on that, but I believe
no, they haven't scored in the first at all in their Super Bowls, and that I know of.
First quarter total. We'll go under or over 9. I go under 9. No, over 9. Over 9.
Wait, in the first?
Yeah, I have a hunch for some reason. Eagles start off strong.
Well, they got to start off strong and they need to finish strong. And LeGarrette Blount and Chris Long know that for a fact after they ended up almost losing, and then they won the game with Atlanta blowing the lead. So if they have the lead, you need to, take the dagger and stab the king. If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man, like Ric Flair says. So hopefully the Eagles will start off strong and they keep from there. Oh shoot, my battery's draining.
All right. So we'll go last one. Best commercial today. Now it's on my iPad.
I think the Amazon one.
I keep looking on my iPad. That's why I keep looking to the left. They have let me see for the commercials. There's there's a Budweiser. The Dilly Dilly will really, I want to see what the variation of the Dilly Dilly is. We have Pringles today, M&M's. Doritos is would be like a cop out for me to say because Doritos always brings it. Like Doritos and Snickers, but it's mostly Doritos. I want to say Budweiser does something like great. Coca-Cola usually goes with the polar bears, which makes me so mad. Like this is the year 2018. We'll stop doing that. But I'll go with Budweiser.
I go with Amazon. I saw the Amazon commercial a little bit early where Alexa loses her voice, and they get all these stars. They got Cardi B on there. They got funny stars on there. So I think that'll be the best commercial of them all. So, in my opinion, but yeah.
Loses her voice. Can you imagine for like the Avengers, Jarvis lost his voice?
Man, I would love to see that too, but
no, I swear I watched the trailer for what is it, Infinity Wars, and when I saw this guy Thanos punch Iron Man, I was like, dang. If you were watching boxing and someone got hit the way Iron Man got hit, you might turn the channel. You might turn the channel because you don't want to see that kind of damage.
Right.
But Budweiser is such a, I don't know to go to Budweiser. Is Snickers doing it this year?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Looking at Amazon, did Alexa lose her voice? PETA, Pringles. M&Ms are gonna go hard. If you don't believe in the M&Ms, you're just.
Oh no, yeah, I think that'll be the number one. But of the funniest of them all, I'd probably say Alexa. But anywho.
Yeah, I feel like being against M&Ms is kind of as treason. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. I'll probably try to check back with you. I'm gonna do a.
Oh shoot! You follow Amari?
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Amari Williams? Yo, that's my boy. We went to school together. Went to Woodlands together.
Yes, that's great. I forgot.
How you know Amari?
I think my friend Naeem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yo, what's up, Amari?
it's
Hey, what's up, Amari? Yo, who you rooting for the Super Bowl, my friend? I bet you got Pats.
let me see.
Actually, no, who you got in the Super Bowl, Daryl?
Dang, I've gone back and forth. I have to separate what I want to happen from what will happen. In I still believe in Philadelphia because I've doubted them so much. So it has to be that, right? It has to be some
Yo,
that
E-Wells, who's your team anyway? What's your football team, E-Wells? Anyway, you were sorry. Yeah, I mean, I think a
I'm
lot of
going
people are doubting them. I mean, but then again, the Super
I'm
Bowl
going
curse
Eagles.
is real, so.
I'm gonna I'm I
Actually,
will
no,
go
MVP curse is real. I'm sorry. Can Brady end that
yeah.
curse? Because he was named MVP 24 hours ago, and no MVP since Kurt Warner since 1999 has won. So who
Yeah,
knows?
I know I will go Eagles only because I was such a fool. I was going against them because they were getting a hype with the Meek Mill song before the game, and
Ah,
I tweeted
oh
right.
man. Dilly
I
dilly, we love Philly, so I probably will go with Philadelphia. I mean, Patriots. I think they're already going to be in favor anyway. I think they're like 56% in favor, and Eagles are 44. So, um, okay, Ewos wants to eat. Yeah, free meat. Yo, Ewos wants the Eagles win. So hopefully, this will be an interesting game that comes on in 7 minutes. But I gotta bounce because I gotta go set up my little cousin's train track. So
All right, sure, yeah. I'm going Philly 20. Why's it gotta be 20? I'll go Philly 35 to like
what?
28.
35 to 31,
28.
35 to 34.
No, 35, 28 Philly. Somehow. Somehow
I mean, hey, that was a score the last time they played. So anywho, but yeah, we gotta get Brittany on this so we can make it official. Be like under 10 or something.
yeah. Can you do it? Can you do a three thing? Wait, let me hit some sort of button and see if that works.
Yeah,
Oh, it's only
you probably gotta send a request maybe.
turn off commenting, turn off requests. Oh yeah. No, you I think you can only go two.
Oh, you
So
can't. Oh, well, either way, we can start the podcast. If you got the mic, we just get a place and stuff.
yeah, I'm about to like. I saw a mic at Best Buy for $55, but I'll get through that. I got a savings account,
Yeah, me
so
too. All right,
yeah,
peeps, we're gonna come
figured.
out with a new show called Under 10 with Brittany Clark, who is unfortunately not here, but she's probably watching the game. But who do I want to win? E-Wells, the Philadelphia Eagles, just like DT. So
All right, so let me see. After this, I have to save this because I want to lose this thing. So it'll ask me if to save it. So I'm gonna save this and send it to you probably via text or email. Doesn't whatever one works. All right, I'll
all
sign
right,
off.
all right, it's peace, Brody.
All right, stay up.
All right.
Let's see.